In today's topic, we will see how to create a VPC in AWS. So let me show you one thing in EC2. So whenever we launch an instance in EC2, okay, so we'll be going step by step, okay, like, you'll be giving name, you're selecting AMI, you're selecting instance type, you're selecting key pair, and whenever we reach network settings, you'll do edit and you'll be selecting default VPC. But in today's video, we'll be creating our own network. Okay, this is the AWS. By default, they are giving you this VPC. Okay, for new users. Okay, whenever you create a new account in AWS, you'll be provided a default VPC. Okay, in the past videos of AWS, I'll have used a default VPC. So now in this video, we'll be creating our own network and we'll be creating our own subnets as well. Okay, these subnets are given by AWS, but here we'll also be creating subnets. Okay, we'll be using our own subnets. Okay, so let's go to VPC now. So this is VPC. So let me type here VPC. Okay, so VPC is nothing but isolated cloud resources. Okay, isolated in the sense you are separating your network from AWS vast network. Okay, so if you want to create your own network for your business needs, you can create it using VPC. Okay, there you can create subnets, you can create route table. Okay, so we'll be creating all of them by going into VPC now. Okay, so your VPCs. Okay, this is a default VPC provided by AWS. Okay, so whatever you are seeing is it is automatically created by AWS whenever you are creating a new account. Okay, and here you can see IPv4 CIDR, which is 172.31.0.0. Okay, so this IP address, okay, is divided into 4 octets. Okay, so each octet has 0 to 255 or 256, I think, the range. Okay, the range of each octet is 250 to 255. Okay, so this will be common, and third and fourth octet will have the numbers from 0 to 255 or 256. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll be using 172.32. Okay, instead of 31, we'll be using 32 for our newly created VPC. Okay, we will see that. So let's create a VPC, and here I'll give cloud VPC. Okay, IPv4 CIDR, I'm not changing anything here. Okay, here I'll be writing 172.31 is used by AWS. I'm using 32 0.0/16. Okay, 16 is nothing but this is a mask, bits, or it is also called as a CIDR notation. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, we go to subnet calculator. Okay, so yeah, if I give 172.32.0.0 and you have to give 16. Okay, okay, not this. I think this is not the website. Okay, there is another website where we can calculate the subnet calculator. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, so now 172.32.0.0 /16 value. Okay, what is the /16? Okay, this is the /16. Okay, so now if I calculate, you can see I can create 65,534 IP addresses using /16 notation. Okay, CIDR notation. Okay, /16 is nothing but CIDR notation. Okay, and one more thing, there are network classes in networking concept, like a network. In using a network, we can create up to 16 million IP addresses, and using B network, we can create up to 65,534. Okay, using C, we can create 254 IP addresses. Okay, so that is a use of these network classes. So it's not it's just for the sake of information I am saying this. Okay, so this is how you calculate subnet. So for /16 you can use up to 65,534 IP addresses. Okay, so here I have just changed, instead of 31 I have used 32. The 31 is already using by AWS, so I'm using 32. So now let's move on. Okay, and I don't want to use IPv6 here. So let's create a VPC. Okay, so the VPC state is available. So the next step. So what is the next step? Next step is to create subnets. Okay, so let's go to subnets and create a new subnet here. Okay, so once we are in the subnets, select our VPC, okay, which is cloud VPC, which I have created. And here I'm going to create public subnet. Okay, and the availability zone is 1A. And here I'm going to use 172.32. So this will be common. Okay, whenever you are creating subnet, this is common. And after this, you can give any number. Okay, it may be 10, it may be 12, maybe 20. Okay, that is up to you. I'm giving 10.0. Okay, instead of 0, you will be getting a random number whenever you create a IP address. Okay, sorry, not IP address. Instead of 0. Okay, so I'm giving 0 here. If you create an EC2 instance, this 0 will be replaced from the range 0 to 255. Okay, whatever the numbers we have from 0 to 256, each octet has this range. Okay, so that will be replaced. Okay, that random number will be picked by AWS. Okay, so I'm not giving any number here. I'm just giving 10.0. Okay, /24. Okay, so if I go to subnet calculator and do, let's go again to online subnet calculator. Okay, here 172.32 dot, what is the number? 10.0. Okay, slash value is 24. Okay, so yeah, 24. So what is how many IP addresses can I use with slash value 24? Okay, so number of usable hosts 254. Okay, 254 IP addresses I can use. Okay, so now, so I've selected this IPv4 CIDR block for public subnet. Okay, let's create another subnet, private subnet. Okay, here I'll be selecting 1way, and here I'll be selecting 172.32. Here I'll be selecting 20.0. Slash value is 24. Okay, so let's create a subnet. So subnets are created. Okay, so now what we have to do? Okay, so the next step is we have to create route tables. So route tables, just click on create route table, and here give public route table. Okay, public route table, and here VPC is our VPC, which is cloud VPC. That's it. Create route table. Okay, so once we create public route table, let's create another route table for private. Okay, so let's create private route table now. And select the VPC as cloud VPC. That's it. Create a route table. So we have created route tables as well. Okay, so first we have created VPCs. Okay, sorry, only one VPC we have created, which is cloud VPC. Okay, so this is our VPC which we have created. Then we have created subnets. Okay, public and private. Then we have created route tables, public route table and private route table. Okay, so next, what is the next step? Okay, so we have to do subnet association now. Okay, so let's go to subnets. Click on public subnet. Okay, you have to associate it with route table. Okay, okay, I think it's route tables. It's not subnets, it's route tables. Okay, so we have to go to public route table. We have to select public route table here. Go to subnet association. So yeah, I was talking about this subnet association. And here select edit subnet associations. Click on public subnet and save associations. Okay, so now do the same thing with private route table. Go to subnet association, go to edit subnet association and select private subnet. That's it. So we have associated our route tables to public subnet as well as private subnet. So what is the next step, which is step 5? We have to create an internet gateway. Okay, so there is a default gateway. So let's create a new gateway here. Okay, before creating, let me delete this. There is already a gateway here. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, so now let's create a new gateway. Let's do cloud internet gateway. Okay, so let's create an internet gateway. So now what is the fifth or sixth step? Okay, the sixth step is to attach to VPC. Okay, okay, we have to attach internet gateway to our new VPC. Okay, which we have created. So let's go to VPCs. Well, let's go to internet gateway. Select cloud internet gateway and attach to VPC. Cloud VPC. That's it. So this is done. So what is the seventh step? Okay, we have to give this internet gateway to public route table. Okay, so why we are giving this internet gateway to public route table? Because for providing internet service to public public servers, we will be using internet gateway. Okay, so that is the reason why we'll be you know adding route to internet gateway. Okay, adding which route? Public route to internet gateway. So let's go back to internet gateways. Okay, let's go back to route tables, and here public route table is for internet gateway. Okay, let's go to routes. and here edit routes and add a new route, and here select, okay, I want to connect to anyone, so that is why I have selected this. So let's select what is the gateway which we have created just now. It's internet gateway. So this is our internet gateway. That's it. Save changes. Okay. So now what is the next step, which is step number 8. Okay. Create a NAT gateway. Okay. So create a new NAT gateway here. Okay. So NAT gateway, or let's give it a name as cloud-ngw. And here subnet, I'll be selecting public subnet. Okay. I want to create NAT gateway inside public subnet. That is why I'm selecting public subnet here. Connectivity type, I'm selecting public, and I'll allocate a elastic IP. So here the reason for using elastic IP is, if any server, goes down, elastic IP, holds that server. Okay. So that is the reason why I'm creating a new elastic IP here. So next we have to go and create a NAT gateway. Okay. So we have created a NAT gateway. Now we'll be attaching this NAT gateway to our route table, which is private route table. Okay. Public is for internet gateway and private is for NAT gateway. So let's straight away go to routes. Okay, route, edit routes, add route, and here same thing again. I'm selecting zeros. That means we can connect to any of these, anyone inside the network. Okay, so I'll be selecting NAT gateway. So this is our NAT gateway. Okay, save changes, and that's it. It is done. So now, so we have configured our VPC successfully. So now let's test, or check whether when we are creating an EC2 instance, whether we can find our VPC or not. Let's check that. Okay. So now let's launch instance, and here I'll be typing public server. Okay. So Amazon Linux, I'm selecting it. So instance is t2.micro, key pair is new key pair, and here when we click edit, instead of default, I'll find my network, which is cloud VPC. So I'll be selecting that. Okay. So 172.32.0.0, which is given by me. Okay. So at the same point, subnets are also created by myself. Okay. So which we have created while creating VPCs. So these are the subnets. Okay. For public server, I'm selecting 1A. Okay. So here auto assign public IP, I want to enable it for public server. Okay. So for public server, I'll be, public server, I'll be enabling auto assign public IP. That means anyone outside the AWS network can access into my public, access into public server. Okay. So that is the reason why I'm enabling it. And here you will not find the existing security groups because this network is different. Okay. If you select existing security group, you will not find any security groups. It's only the default security group you will find. Okay, so I'll be creating my own security group here. Let's say cloud VPC SG. Okay, so I'll copy the same for the description. And here the security group rule which I'm giving is my IP, which is nothing but my ISP address. Okay, so if I do my IP here, so the address you are seeing here will be same as here. Okay, so let me show you. Yeah, this one 49.37.154. Okay, so as you can see, same IP address, right? Same ISP address 49.37.154. Okay, so I am giving my ISP here. Okay, SSH and my IP. Okay, so let's create the instance. Okay, so once we create the instance, let me open it in a new tab. So okay, so let me wait for our instance to be running. Okay, let's wait for that. Okay, so our instance is running. Let me do run. Okay, let me filter it out. Okay, so this is our public IP address. Okay, and this is our private IP address. Okay, so as I said earlier, when we were giving public subnet 172.32.10.0. Okay, I have given 0 from 0 to 256. It has given a random number here, which is 244. Okay, so each update will be having 0 to 256 range. Okay, so this is how we can identify the private IP address. Okay, so this is different. Only the difference is 244. Okay, from 0 to 256, you got this number. Okay, randomly, it has picked this range. Okay, so now let's check whether our server is up and running or not. Let's go to Putty tool and go to host name we are giving and SSH auth credentials, browse and new key pair, open. Okay, so successfully we can log into our user. So here I do su uh, sudo su. Okay, so it's working. So now what is the next step? So what we have to do is running. Okay, so at the same time we will be creating another server which is private server. So private server or private subnet, you can call anything, private subnet or private server. Okay, let me give it as private server. Okay, so Amazon Linux instance type I'm not changing, key pair, new key pair, and network settings, cloud VPC. So this is the network which we created, private subnet. Okay, for private subnet, here I'm not selecting enable option. Okay, because you don't want your server to be exposed to the internet, so that is the reason why I'm not selecting private this enable option. Okay, so that is why it is disabled. Okay, so outsider cannot you know uh, go into the private server. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm not selecting enable option. So I have selected enable option for public server. Okay, so that is different and this is different. Okay, so now here I'll be selecting the security group which I have created for the public server. So let's select the same security group and let's go and create a instance. Let's launch the instance. So let's go to instances. Okay, so I have filtered it out. Okay, so there is a new server up and running. So if we go to private server, you can see there is no public IP address. Of course, there will be no public IP address because I have not, enabled auto assign public IP. So that is the reason why it is not showing anything here. Okay, so there is only a private IP address. And once again, you can see here, this was created by me. Okay, 172.32.20, and this is randomly picked by, the AWS network. Okay, AWS has randomly given this number. Okay, so this range, as I said, this range will be from 0 to 255. Any number can, can allocate this space. Okay, this slot can be any number. Okay, so each octet can be any numbers. Okay, but first two are common. Okay, so that is the first two octets are based on the scale of the organization. If it is a large organization, you'll be having another IP address. Okay, and if it is a medium to small, you'll be having another IP address range. Okay, this is not common for all, but just it's an example I'm explaining you. So this is how you can uh, view the difference between the IP addresses. Okay, so now we don't have any public IP address. So what we have to do? So I want to log in into my private server. Okay, but you don't have any public IP address to log in. Okay, so how should we log into private server or subnet? How to log into private subnet? Okay, for that you have to copy the public server private IP and go to private server, go to security and go to security groups and edit inbound rules. And here you have to write a rule. Okay, you should allow the public subnet private IP address in private subnet public IP address. Sorry, private subnet private IP address. Okay, let me explain you again. So here we have two instances. Okay, so I want to log in or I want to install some software inside private subnet. Okay, but you don't have any public IP address here. So how to log in into private or private server or private subnet? So what we have to do is we have to go to public server. Okay, we have private IP address, copy that. Okay, let's go to private server and go to security groups. Okay, we have to go to edit inbound rules, and here we have to create an add rule. Okay, here select SSH and here select custom. Okay, so here we have to paste that IP address. Okay, so what is the IP address which I have pasted here? This is a private IP address of public subnet. Okay, remember that. So there is no confusion here. You are just allowing the public public subnet to your private space. Okay, private subnet. Okay, so for that you are adding a security group rule here. Okay, so that is very simple. So let's add it here and save the rules. Okay, so this is done. So I have lost this session. Let me open a duplicate session. Let me close the previous one. Okay, let's do ec2-user sudo su. Okay, so now, so if I go to instances, so if I go to private server, okay, I have selected private server and watch my cursor. I'm going to connect. Okay, so here we have SSH client. Okay, just copy this, the example they have given here, copy it and paste it here. Okay, so what we are doing is from private address of public subnet, we are going into private subnet, we are logging into private subnet. Okay, So if I click enter, so it is warning us. Okay. So what is the warning here? Identity file, new key pair, 2023.pm. Okay, .pem file not accessible. Okay. So here .pem file is not available. So that is the reason why it is showing me the error. Okay. So where is my .pem file? Okay, let me show you that. So my .pem file. Okay, so where it is? Okay, inside desktop. Okay, so I have .pem file here. Okay, this is a Windows machine and you are inside the Linux machine. So how would you copy a file from Windows to Linux? Okay, so that is a question here. So what you will do is you have to install WinSCH. Okay, so you click Win. Okay, Windows SCP. It's not SCH. Okay, it's SCP. But Windows SCP. Okay, so let's download it by going to download, and you have to click this download button. Then that will be downloaded. Okay, using this tool, you can copy your files from Windows to Linux. Okay, so I have downloaded it and I also installed it. So I'm not going to install it again. So let's straight away, use this Windows SCP. So let's click on Windows SCP here. So this is the Windows SCP. Okay, so here what we have to do is you have to select new site, and here you have to give the public IP address of public subnet. Public subnet in the sense public server. Okay. So this is my public server and I'll copy the public IP address. Okay. So let's go to SCP and here I'll be pasting the host name. And here the username is EC2-user and that's it. You have to go to advanced, click on advanced, and here you have to select authentication. This is same as PuTTY, how you'll be browsing the PPK file, but here we are browsing PPK file here. So okay, so that's it. Same as PuTTY tool, we are doing this in SCP. So okay, and login. Okay, this will pop up a message here. Just do it as yes. Okay, so now as you can see here, the path home/ec2/user. Okay, so if you go to PuTTY tool here, if I do pwd, so this is the same path which we are seeing in Windows SCP. Okay, so now what you have to do is once we'll check whether any file is available or not. Okay, ls, so there are no files. Okay, if I do ls minus la, you will be seeing all the hidden files, but you are not seeing the pem file here. Okay, so we need to copy our pem file from Windows to Linux. Okay, this is a Windows pane and this is a Linux pane. Okay, so you are just dragging this file to Linux. That's it. Okay, that is done. Okay, so now if you do ll, you will find the .pem file here. Okay, so this is how you can copy your files from Windows to Linux. Okay, so if I do ls, you can see the pem file is present now. Now if you do that ssh client command, okay, you can successfully log in into private server. Instead of uh, irrespective of this public IP address, you can log into private server. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's go to connect again. Let's copy the command here. Okay, so we go to putty and paste it here. This IP address will be changed to, okay, let me show you that. So this IP address 244 will be changed to 208. Okay, so 208 is nothing but the IP address or private IP address of private server. So let me show you that. Okay, so this is the private IP address of private server. Okay, we are logging into this IP address using the public, public IP. So let's hit enter. Okay, now you are seeing a different IP address here. Okay, so that is a difference. Okay, 172.32.10.244 has been changed to 172.32.20.208. Okay, you are inside the private IP address. Okay, sorry, private subnet. Okay, so you are inside the private subnet. So this is how you can create VPCs. You can use your own network. Okay, you can log in into private servers. Okay, so this is all about VPC. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.